So I want to do this Facebook today for men only, Facebook Live, and I'm also recording on YouTube as well. This is for men only. Thank you guys for tuning in. I want to talk about something that we don't talk a whole lot about as men, and I'm going to talk about spirituality today. And so right now, half of you probably just turn off or run away or say things like, I don't believe in this or I don't believe in that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about, well, we kind of are talking about that. There's a problem in our world right now, and it's spiritual in nature. This battle has been going on for centuries and centuries and centuries. This battle of good versus evil, and the evil right now is definitely winning, but it's up to us men to change that. And we have a world right now, and it's been going on for quite some time, probably since the 60s and 70s, where since the feminist movement, it's been a battle against men and against masculinity. We've been turning the men in our society, feminine. Part of the problem in some of the communities is that there's no men in the house. These men are being raised by women, and when they're raised by women, they're taking on the emotions of women, and they're becoming just like women. They're becoming emotional and irrational. And it's this whole thing of feminizing men is destroying our culture. It really is, and it's destroying my culture as a white Western European male, and it's also destroying the cultures of the black male, wherever you guys come from. Some people say Africa, some people say you guys are the Native Americans. I don't really know. Not my job to look that kind of stuff up. You guys need to do that, and you guys need to discover your own culture and love it and protect it just like we do and should. A lot of us don't. That's a story for another day when we talk about the self-hate of white people. We'll talk about that some other day. But today we're going to talk about men, and we're going to talk about how we become feminized, and how it's a plan by the enemy of God to do this. Because the strongest creature that God put on this planet is the male, is the man. He sent his son. God sent his son Jesus to this planet, and which I believe is the only planet that has life. I believe that. You can believe what you want, I don't really care. But I believe this is God's creation, and this is the only planet with life, and I believe this is the only life there is. I don't believe there's aliens or any of that kind of stuff. I don't believe in any of that stuff. But whatever. So the agenda of Satan and his minions is to destroy the male, and the way they're doing it is they're feminizing the male. They're taking the male out of the households. The government in the United States especially makes every attempt to, especially the black male, they remove them from the households. They literally say to the black women, we want you to have children to different men, and if you do, we'll give you money. And if you have a man, and if one of the children's fathers live in your house, we're not going to give you any money. So they completely destroyed that because the women are weak, and they're susceptible to bribery, which we're seeing. That's what they're getting. It's bribery to get the men out of the house. They're susceptible to that, to materialism and to money. And that's part of it. The women have gone that direction because the men are not masculine anymore, and the men are not taking control of their families anymore. They're letting the women run. Happy wife, happy life. You've heard the saying. You've heard that lie. The men no longer rule the household. They now have the women now have part of it is the media as well. I don't know if you watch TV now, uh, especially the white man is portrayed as a fat, lazy, stupid dummy who doesn't know anything, and that's how the media portrays the white man. And we know better. I am not certainly not a dumb person. I'm not a fat, lazy person. Uh, and that's part of the diets that they're pushing on our people. They're feeding us with fast food and red meat and pork, and they're making us eat all these. Not making us eat it, but they're eating all of this stuff that's making us fat, and they're drinking beer and all this crazy smoking cigarettes and all this nonsense that's destroying our health. I'm a 55-year-old man, and listen, I didn't lead the healthiest lifestyle. I was involved in drugs for many years, and thank the good Lord up above, and it's only through His grace and mercy that I'm no longer involved in that life. But I managed to keep myself in pretty fair health, and it's not that difficult to do. Once you cut out all this garbage, the sodas and the constant eating of red meat and all that stuff, you can and will live a healthier and a better life, and you'll be able to take care of your families a little bit better because you won't be so tired after work. You won't be so lazy, and the TV is another destructive force which they use for the man, to destroy the man, to take the man out of the home. There's gambling, there's sports. All these things are designed to destroy the man, and it's all aimed at us. And Satan knows that only the men who are the embodiment of Christ on this earth, can destroy him. The women can't do it. They're susceptible to bribery, like we've said before. They're weak, and it's nothing against them. They're designed that way. They're supposed to be. We're supposed to be here on this planet to take care of them, And they've been masculine. They've been made masculine. Their femininity has been taken away from them. They've been sexualized from childhood, and so their whole motherly instinct and their femininity is being slowly but surely bred out of them and socialized out of them, and so they're being destroyed as well. So we say like this: what do we need to do, John? What's the solution? The solution is that we need to have the men need to get their lives together and get their stuff together, and we need to turn towards God. We need to turn towards our families. We need to be stronger. We need to be more focused. We need to get the masculinity back in a healthy way. Not this fake masculinity where we sit around and drink beer and smoke cigars, and that's all fake bullshit masculinity. A masculine man is a man who takes care of his home, takes care of his children, takes care of his wife, takes care of his business. And if you're not a married man, then you try to help your community as best you can. You try to help those around you as best you can. You get up off your ass. You don't go to work every day and then come home and sit in front of the television like a lump, and drink beer and smoke cigarettes and eat potato chips and fat all night long, and then you go to work the next day. You'll be dead by the time you're 60. And that's the plan of the elite. And please don't fall for that. We don't. That's not what we want. We want to have our men be strong and masculine, and to take care of our society and be good human beings and good men. We need to bring the men back and get rid of these children and the feminization of children in men's bodies and women in men's bodies. That's not what we need. We need the masculinity back in our men, and we need to be strong, dedicated, family men, and community men and community leaders. And we need to disband this whole agenda of feminizing the men, and this whole transgender stuff too is a whole other thing. It's a great way to destroy the man, and homosexuality and all those things are great ways to destroy the man. So let's try to rebuild our men. Let's teach our sons to be men. Let's teach them the right way to be a man, to be strong, to be compassionate, to be understanding, to be loving, to be caring, to be gentle most of the time, and to be very strong when you need to be, and to be masculine at all times. Uh, and that's the way we can start to rebuild the man. And when we rebuild the man, we rebuild the family. And when we rebuild the family, we move back towards a healthier uh, world that we live in. And this is not what the Antichrist wants. This is not what Satan wants. And whatever he wants, we don't want. So let's unite as a world as much as we can. And I'm going to try to do what I can in this very, very small group of people that I reach. You know, I do these things, and sometimes I get between 60 and 100 views. So that's pretty good. And I have a couple thousand views on Facebook for some of my stuff, or I'm sorry, on YouTube for some of my stuff. So we're hoping to get more of them. It's not for me. I don't care about anything like that. I'm just doing it to try to do my part to help people. So I'm going to sign off on the YouTube right now. God bless you, and see you.